Hey, and welcome back. It's your favorite shop monkey, Chris. Today, I'm just working on some organizational stuff for my forging tools. I'm going to show you around the shop a little bit and kind of describe some of the problems I'm having, and then we'll get on to some of the projects that I want to take on. So stick with me. This will be fun. First off, let's look at my power hammer shelf. So I have a little red cart from Harbor Freight. We've all seen these, a little 2-shelf cart with some wheels. It doesn't move around very well. The casters suck. It's kind of flimsy, but hey, whatever. This is what I've got. You can see I've got all of my tools. All my power hammer tools are just thrown on here. Whole stack of them right here. And then the shelf becomes kind of a storage place for shit. I've got a rag, I've got some squirts in here, This isn't a commercial for Squirt. Not sponsored, clearly. But happens to be what I'm gonna drink tonight. So anyway, so this thing's a mess. So I want to come up with a way to organize this. I'm thinking some S hooks along the side to hang the tools on, and then on top, I'd like to put my my hand tooling. And let me show you my hand tooling organization now, and you can see what I'm talking about. So this is where all my hand tooling is at. You can see coffee cans, stuff thrown them on the table. This is just a horizontal surface that just everything gets thrown on. So I'd really like to get some organization of this, and I'd like to move the hand tools off to the cart, and then the cart can go wherever I need to in the shop and be available. Back here by the forge, you can see again we've got a horizontal surface problem. Everything just gets thrown on there, haphazardly. No organization. Tongs and pencils and pens. Even though the stick welder's sitting there because we're going to use that as part of the project today. Moving on over to the anvil, you're going to see I'm already starting some of the project here. Under the anvil I've got some of my commonly used tongs, and then on the other side I've got some of my hardy tools already. You can see some of my hardy tools. So here are the hardy tools, again stored right along the anvil where I use them most. This storage is fine. I can circulate things in and out, but when they're not stored here, they need to be stored somewhere and not just thrown on a table. Here we are at my forge, and you can see I've got a rail in the front of it where I store not only the tools for my rake and my poker and a little shovel, but also right here on the edge, more tongs. And finally, there's this rack that I made some time ago for hammer and tong storage. Now, this is a good place for the stuff I don't use very often, and a lot of this is maybe things that I made when I was a less experienced blacksmith. So I still keep them, but I'm putting them back here on this rack, kind of cold storage for the tools that I don't use often. So the first thing I want to start with is just making a rack to hold my hand tools. I've got some 4-inch pieces, 12-inch piece, and a 6-inch piece down there. So I got 2 of them set up to be welded, and then this is an old chair, old metal chair from a long time ago when Mrs. Schafer decided she didn't want these anymore. I tore a couple of them apart. If you ever see our outside chicken and goat coop, you'll find out where the rest of them went. There's 2 chairs and a table out there that the chickens and the goats use as fodder to play around on. So I've got more where this came from, but I want to use this mesh as the bottom of the apparatus. It'll sit on top of these rails here. And then the top, I want to use some material like this right here. This is just leaning up against here to help separate the tools. I've got this piece, and then I've got another piece. Let's go look at that now. I've also got this piece right here, which may or may not make a good separation for the tools. I'm gonna play by ear here and see what everything looks like once I get it assembled. So next thing we're gonna do is start the assembly on the hand tool rack. I was actually wondering if that was going to be a problem. That things want to sit out, but to be honestly, I don't know if that's that big an issue. Maybe if it's in too big of a hole, that would be a problem. But we'll see how it works out. And if that becomes a problem, then they'll come in and just put the square bar kind of across here so that it stops them from kicking out. But cool, let me bring it in and just show you what it looks like. Alright, there she is. Autofocus is struggling here. There we go. Alright. Project number one, I think I'm good with this, where this is at. But we might revisit it. So, alright, moving on to the next. Well, there we go. You can see we've got lots of room for expansion. I'm pretty sure that I don't have all the tools in there because I always find them on the floor underneath things. Now I have a good place I can store them and put them back to. So that one, that project is done. Moving on to our next task.